ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is a wonderful day to be a Herd fan, isn't it? Welcome into The Drive at ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. How about the Thundering Herd yesterday? I think we got to start there with the women's team. We can't go anywhere else until we start there. How many of you were at the Cam Henderson Center last night? It wasn't a bad crowd. Good crowd last night. It was the Play for K game, but more importantly, it was Marshall's opportunity to clinch the regular season championship in the Sun Belt, and the Herd got it done. So congratulations to Kim Caldwell's team. We're going to talk about that this hour. We got a men's game coming up tonight. We got to talk about the Thundering Herd on the road. They will try to beat Georgia Southern for the second time in the season and get this losing streak over with. The Herd's on a 5-game losing streak. Marshall has lost 6 of the last 7. Marshall had a slight little win streak going, couldn't get it fully underway, lost to Old Dominion during the homestand, but went on the road. Marshall hasn't won on the road in a long time. The last time Marshall won on the road, it was at Texas State. That was a 79-75 victory back on January 6th. After that, Marshall has not won on the road. Lost games against Old Dominion, James Madison, and of course, the most recent road trip, it was 3 games on the road. Marshall lost those as well. And of course, the 2 games at home, the final games, the homestand, the Thundering Herd getting beat by, of course, 2 of the best teams in the league, and that's James Madison and App State. So there's a lot to be said about that. Offense hasn't been really producing as of late. Defense has been giving up a lot of points. Now, Marshall did play well against App State. I will acknowledge that. Defensively, a lot better. Offensively, just couldn't get it done. But we'll get into that later. Of course, we got the game coming up right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. But how about the Marshall women getting the victory? Winning. Good stuff yesterday from the Cam Henderson Center, and the Herd's now going to be playing host to Georgia State. But the Herd's the champions, regular season champions. You know, the last time that happened, some of you might not have been born just yet. The last regular season conference championship, 1988-89 Southern Conference Championship. So Marshall's now the number 1 seed next week in the tournament. And Marshall's looking for its first tournament title since the 1997 Southern Conference Championship. And it was funny, when the notes came out today, Marshall's SID's name's David O'Leary. David included a note with the notes today, his personal note on the notes, a note for the note. He said that he was less than a month old, it was less than a month old for the 1997 Southern Conference Tournament. I had went back to Marshall for my second run. I remember that well. I went back to Marshall for another run, and the Herd was the tournament champion that year. Marshall was still in the Southern Conference. That was insane. Absolutely. But Marshall has not done this in a long time. Mo was back. How about that? How exciting was that to see Mo? So Mo was back. We got to see the Herd get it done. They're taking on a Georgia Southern team that's got to play in the first day. They're 4-13. But we'll talk about that later. We got to talk about the game last night. And as I asked, how many of you were there? So it was a good crowd. Some of the football team was there. I don't know if any other the athletic department's teams were represented. I didn't see anything really that distinguished them. But I'm sure that they were there. And Marshall got it done. There was confetti. That was always fun. There was cutting of the net. Coach Caldwell had some fun talking about yesterday. Yeah, for some of them, they didn't know how to do that. How do I cut the net? I've never done this. And so you got a collection of young ladies who were brought to Marshall University from a previous coach, and then that coach leaves for a different opportunity. And I think you got to give some credit to Tony Kemper for bringing together a good group of student athletes. There was a strong core that stayed after Coach Kemper left. And so Coach Caldwell comes in, and she said all year, hey, I wasn't coming. I've seen this team. I knew what I was getting, and that's part of the reason why I came. I knew I could win with what was here. I saw what was here. I knew I could win with what was here, and that really attracted me to the job. And so Coach Caldwell gets the victory last night. The Thundering Herd wins the championship. probably the first one for a lot of people in basketball, women's basketball, for a long time. There are probably Herd fans that have never seen a women's basketball championship. Of course, we got to go back a few years for the men in the tournament, but this is a regular season championship we're talking about. This means a lot because it's a reward for consistency over the season. So as Coach Caldwell said last night after the game, it was a fun night.
Fun day. Really fun day. I was really, really happy they got to enjoy that moment. Thanks to everyone who pulled it off. A lot of the times when you win the regular season, you don't get that moment. And I'm really, really happy that they got to have that moment. They got to cut down a net. They got confetti. They've been asking for confetti for a long time. So they got to celebrate it. They got the championship feel, which is rare. And they've earned it. They deserved it. I'm proud of them. I hope they remember this day for as long as they live, and I think they will. And they put a lot of hard work in to get here.
I feel for the people who had to clean up the confetti. But they wanted confetti. Give them confetti. I want confetti as well. I'm going to request confetti now for the next thing that good happens for me. I just want confetti. So it was fun. I'm happy for them, the players. I'm happy for this program. The next step now, you got a game to go. You have to win the game. Then you have to get to the tournament. Win that. Then we're talking about another trophy ceremony. They've already replaced the trophy that sits. They have a spot. Our latest Sun Belt trophy. You know the platform. It's on display. So every time that Marshall wins another trophy, a Sun Belt title, something, you got to replace the trophy. The new one goes. And so the new one's up now. And hopefully we get to replace that real soon. Wouldn't that be cool? Just, hey, that regular season one, okay, we're taking that one. We're putting that elsewhere now. We got to put the new one up here. That's the tournament champion. And how's that work if the men and women win the tournament? Are you going to co-display them? I think you would have to. But those are things for another day. When we come back from break, I hope to be joined by my friend from Marshall University. She's part of the marketing department. Sydney Shelton is coming up. A lot of things happening. I don't know if you know this, but there's a baseball park opening in a couple of days at Marshall University. There's softball. It got rained out today, but softball is going to be back at it hopefully on Friday. We've got women's basketball, obviously. We've got a lot to talk about with Sydney. She's going to update us on everything we can possibly fit into the show. And we'll do that when we continue. And then we'll get your text in. 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. I'm your host, Paul Swann. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Working Man Store in Huntington. Check out the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Healing Hands, Dickies, Cherokee, and Med Couture at the best price. Working Man Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man Store, open every day at 140 5th Avenue, Huntington.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck, located at 604 Bellefonte Road in Westwood, gives you a great shopping experience with unique items and delicious food all in one location. Stop by Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck in Westwood.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes: spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Member FDIC. Carmichael Sales, carrying a great selection of used tractors, hay, and tillage equipment. 798 Pinecrest Drive, Jackson Pike. Secure Construction Company in Huntington. Secure Construction is home improvement in secure hands. SecureConstruction.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Wednesday, February 28th edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. It's always fun to welcome my next guest. She's part of the marketing department at Marshall University. Her name is Sydney Shelton, and she's very happy after last night. I saw you in the crowd. I saw you on the court. Did you get any confetti on you? It looked like a good time down there last night.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm not Kim Caldwell good, but I'm good.
No, I mean, what an exciting night, for Kim as her first head coach in the Division I university, and for our student athletes and getting to experience that. But then also our fans, getting to sit back and watch all the ceremony and all the festivities happen yesterday. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then next thing you know, the confetti's flying everywhere and the T-shirts are out. The net cutting is happening. Coach had to show some of them how to cut the net, so that was fun as well to kind of teach them. And I saw you right in the middle of all of it. I couldn't tell if you were having fun or you were just super busy because there was a lot going on yesterday.
Taking it all in. We run around 100 miles a minute sometimes, but being able just to step back and kind of watch and take in, the excitement and the feeling of just being a part of, a small part of something just as great as what last night was, is just pretty incredible.
All right, there's a game Friday, and I know the T-shirt cannon's going to be out. Will there be championship shirts along with those T-shirts flying in the crowd Friday? No pressure if that's not a case right now.
We do love our T-shirt guns. We were really excited when those arrived, and we think they're a fan favorite. But you'll just have to come and try to get one, and then you'll get to see what's on those T-shirts.
That cannon is pretty powerful. I was surprised at how far that actually shot. It wasn't one of those, you didn't get this off Temu or Wish. You got a real good T-shirt gun.
No, we went all out, and it's been a really cool experience and something just to add to our fan engagement at games.
So what can we expect on Friday? You've got the women, their last home game. It's senior night, obviously, and the trophy. That's a thing. We love trophies. I know already it's replaced the last trophy. The most recent trophy is now being displayed as the women's trophy, but we'll take that out of its special place just for a moment to bring over to the Henderson Center, right? Is that the deal for Friday?
Yeah, that's the deal. So we got to have coffee with champions this morning, and the Sunbelt regular season trophy replaced our men's soccer trophy that was up in the Shuey building. So we'll sneak it away for a little bit. We will actually have it at the game on Friday. So from 5 to 6, fans can take their photo with it in the concourse area. We'll have a nice little setup so that fans can see it, take photos with it, all the cool things with that. We will have some Sunbelt regular season championship posters, so make sure you stop by, pick up one of those. They're limited edition. There's not a lot of them, so get there early so you can get your hands on one of those. And then, of course, we're going to play basketball, and we're going to love every minute of that. And then after basketball, we will have the senior day festivities post-game. And then after that, we'll have a little autograph session to kind of round out the regular season at home. And then you can get those wonderful Sunbelt posters signed.
That's happening coming up on Friday, and it's a very quiet Friday. Not much really happening other than the basketball game, Sydney. So I know it's going to be an easy day for you, right?
Yeah, nothing happening. There's not 4 games at Doc Hickfield and 1 baseball game at Jack Cook Field and a basketball game.
No, there's nothing really happening. I mean, parking is going to be a premium. I mean, just saying, get there early. Whatever you do, get there early.
Yeah, we're super excited. We'll pivot into that. We've got a great weekend. Such a special weekend for our staff members, for our players, for our fans, for our student athletes of the past and of the current. It's a big weekend as we open Jack Cook Field, and we are super, super excited about it. We're excited to welcome fans to our new ball field and to show them all the new great things that we have to offer and how we're going to enhance their experience there. And then also getting to see Morgan Zirkle back on her home turf of Dot Hicksfield, this time as a first-year head Division I coach. We're just super excited. It's a huge weekend for Marshall fans, for Herd Athletics, for everybody. And we just can't wait to see everyone there.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. First ever game, the new ballpark. It's going to be Friday, and it's nice. I got my little tour yesterday. It's nice.
It's a great facility. We're super excited. There has been so much hard work that has gone into building this brand new stadium and the upgrades that have occurred at softball. And it has been an all hands on deck project, and we super appreciate everyone that has stepped up and helped and had a part in that.
Plenty of concession points of sale for softball, for baseball. Did it right. I walked into this like, okay, it looks great from the photos, but all right, let's get inside of this thing. Let's see what it looks like. And all right, yeah, this is really, really first class. This is all right. They did it right. And not that I was expecting not to be done right, but it's just like, okay, this is real. Sydney, this is real. I'm in this now. I'm touching this. I'm in this baseball stadium. I'm in this press area. I'm in this thing. This is real. And I'm sure a lot of people have had that moment once they get in.
Yeah, and, personally, I've only been here since 2017, and so I've not waited as long as most have. But, getting to walk in there for the first time and, really take in the fact that we are standing at Jack Cook Field and our baseball team is going to play in Huntington and not have to drive a distance to play a home game. We're just super excited for it.
Okay, so you don't have a special note like David O'Leary had in his basketball preview for the media where he made a note to let us all know that he was a month old the last time that Marshall was in the tournament, won the tournament and the conference. You're not going to give us anything like that.
I don't have any special helps and tricks there, but maybe I can think one up, and I'll let you know next time I'm on the air.
Okay. I felt old when I read his presser. I felt old because I was around for that women's Southern Conference tournament run. I was there, and I came back as a student at Marshall, Sid. So I'm kind of feeling old right now, excited at the same time for all this stuff. But we got a lot happening. What's cool that you're looking forward to as far as baseball promotions? Because the fun thing about going out to the ballpark is always the fun things at the ballpark, and that's not necessarily what's happening on the field. That's all the stuff that goes along with it. Fun promotions. I know you've got some special things for us for opening day. You released a promotion schedule today. I won't go too deep with that, but just those first few games, I know you've got some fun stuff.
Yeah, we're super excited for all the additional things other than just baseball that Herd fans are going to see this weekend at baseball. We've got national anthem singers all 3 days. For Friday's game, the Woodman Life group is bringing the big American flag for the field. There will be a Build No Flight School flyover on Friday, maybe some fireworks. You'll have to wait and see about that one. And then, some different people that will be honoring throwing those official first pitches this weekend. And a lot of people that have worked really hard for this, and, we're just excited to welcome them to the ballpark as well.
I'm always ready for fireworks.
You know me, I'm a big fan of the fireworks.
Yeah, I'm always ready for fireworks, and you got a lot of real estate to work with now with that ballpark.
Oh, yeah. But, we put out the promotional baseball schedule for the entire season today, for the home conference or the home game. And, taking a look at that, we got a lot of fun, exciting things coming out. But you know what I'm most excited for, Paul?
Tell me.
Bark in the Park. So we've got quite a bit of ways before that gets here. But, getting to put that in the promotional schedule and knowing how we're going to execute on all that, I am super pumped for Bark in the Park Day.
Hey, let me ask you, I know we're probably jumping a little too far. You brought it up, so you're excited about that day. We're going to have any adoption events in conjunction with that as well?
We're going to work on some things. We're still finalizing a lot of details, but that is the hope.
That would be super cool. So I like that. That's a great promotion. And, of course, everybody loves bringing their dog or cat to the ballpark. Cats, right? You can bring cats, or you can bring cats, right? And it's Bark in the Park. Can you bring cats?
We'll probably try to stick to dogs. But,
okay. You should, okay.
We're super excited to welcome our herd dog to the park.
You're saying that in general terms. You don't have actually a designated dog now, right? You're talking general terms. Oh, okay, because you get me excited. The herd dog.
All the herd fans that have dogs can bring them to the Bark in the Park.
Okay. But there's not like specific herd dog. You had me excited for a second.
No, herd dog giveaways, but not an actual herd dog.
Okay. Sydney Wells Shelton is with us. Sydney and I go back a few years, so this is why we always have fun when we get together, and I appreciate everyone just listening in to our fun conversation. But there's a lot of great things happening with baseball, softball as well. I know today's a little disappointing with the weather, but that means we just have a couple more days of anticipation for softball. And I hope we can make everybody's dreams come true on Friday with baseball, softball, basketball. What do fans need to know that are going to try to attempt 1, 2, or 3 of these events?
Yeah, I'm hoping that everyone goes for the trifecta. I'm hoping that everyone comes out and supports softball first and then walks across to support baseball and then heads to the can for basketball. But some helpful hints is just making sure that you are checking Herd Zone to find all the information about where you need to park, where you need to go, all of those things so that you're prepared when you get there. Your best bet for Friday is going to be parking in the west lot. So just making sure that you're getting there early, you're recognizing that you can find parking and where you got to go to get to each stadium. And then also purchasing your tickets online ahead of time. Softball is free admission, so you don't have to worry about it with that. But baseball and women's basketball, we don't want you to have to wait in line, and you can eliminate that by purchasing your ticket ahead of time by going to herdzone.com.
What about concessions? What do fans need to know? Is it cash and digital only or cashless? What are you doing for baseball for those maybe that don't know?
We are still working through a lot of logistical details, but fans will be able to have both.
Good to know. Bag policy is the same, so nothing's really changed there. What's good for football and basketball is going to be good for softball and baseball as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else we missed? Anything that we need to hit on that fans should know or that we didn't get over?
Just get ready to have a weekend filled with the herd. We can't wait to see you guys at Dot Hicks Field, at Jack Cook Field, and in the CAM.
Sydney Shelton is with us. She handles all of the fun stuff when it comes to marketing. Her official title, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, but I know that's not a long enough title for you. Unlike Ryan Crisp, whose title's too long, yours is too short.
I do joke sometimes about my fan energy title that you gave me a few months ago.
I think it should happen. Keep plugging away at that. You deserve it.
I'll keep working on it.
Yes, I think you should. Sydney, always good to talk to you. I appreciate you so much. It's always a blast to have fun with you and talk about all the fun things that Herd fans need to know. And we'll have fun Friday at the ballpark and, of course, at the CAM. Bring your radios so you can listen to the men on the radio while you're watching the women. And, of course, let's hit softball, baseball. Let's do the Herd trifecta that day, the Herd hat trick.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me, Paul.
Sydney Shelton, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. We'll hear from Kim Caldwell when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is now live. The official sportsbook of ESPN features daily exclusives and offers with your favorite ESPN shows and personalities like me. New users get $100 in bonus bets after making any sportsbook bet. Download the ESPN Bet app to sign up today. I'll see you there. ESPN Bet. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, Tri-State. Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. In Milton, Eric Dodson, 304-390-4515. And in Wayne, Vicki Tabor, 304-272-5149.
11% off everything is happening now at Menards. Transform your home with top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. We offer the lowest prices and the largest in-stock appliance selection. Ready to take home today. Right now, get a Criterion stainless steel gas range for just $618.99 after 11% off. Good to March 3rd. Savings are mail-in rebate in the form of an in-store merchandise credit check. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. We've helped over 30,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Wesley Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-335-2299. That's 800-335-2299. 800-335-2299.
Every 2 minutes, a child becomes a victim of sex trafficking in the U.S. It's happening right now. Don't change the channel. Don't cover your kids' ears, no matter how much you want to ignore it. Child trafficking is real. In fact, it's happening in your town. And you know what our greatest weapon against child trafficking is? It's our children. It's time to act with PACT. That's Partners Against Child Trafficking. PACT works to teach students to identify the warning signs of child trafficking so they can help other vulnerable kids around them. PACT student ambassadors receive in-depth training on the issue and design a project to raise awareness, reduce victimization, and disrupt demand. Any student around the world can sign up for PACT's online training program and learn how to stop child trafficking. Go to pact.city to sign up for the 1-hour course today. With PACT, we declare not one more victim.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on with today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Marshall men's basketball coming up tonight. Thundering Herd trying to get off a 5-game losing streak. They've been pretty bad on the road as well. What's the Herd got to do to get the win tonight? Text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. 2 more games to go until the tournament. Anybody's guess on where the Thundering Herd's going to land in the standings. Anybody's guess. But I think we're good. I think Marshall's going to be okay, but Marshall definitely needs to win. I still don't care about the standings. Marshall taking on Georgia Southern. It's coming up tonight. We've got it here right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Marshall women last night winning the outright regular season championship in the Sun Belt. Kim Caldwell, her squad, clinching the first ever basketball championship and the new league for the Thundering Herd, regular or tournament. And now Marshall's back in action. They've got Georgia Southern coming up on Friday, part of a busy Friday of sports for the Thundering Herd. Now that Marshall's won this regular season championship, what does Marshall need to do to focus on the next day?
Yeah, that's hard. It's really, really hard. It's really easy to win games like this and then drop your next one. I've been guilty of doing that in the past. You win a big game, you get a little too high, and you drop one going into the tournament. I think it's going to be senior day, and so I think our 2 seniors are still going to want to be really locked in, focused, going to want to finish this. But we're going to have our work cut out for us tomorrow afternoon in practice.
That's Kim Caldwell, always looking towards the next game, looking towards the next opportunity. And the good thing about this team is I think they're starting to fire on all cylinders. There's a lot of things that Coach wasn't happy about. Now, the one thing that she was happy about was the fact that they won all 4 quarters. Usually the Herd has one of those situations where they got to battle back in that first, and then they run away with it. This time, last night, Marshall won all 4 quarters.
We won 4 quarters. Yes. I was looking at that. We talked about that. We did not practice on Sunday, but our group chat was pretty live about what we needed to do since we only had 1 day prep, and they actually said they needed to do a better job of being consistent for 4 quarters. And so they did that. I think that's maybe the first time since October we've done that. November since we've done that, so that was good.
I'll take that. Now, if you've ever been around Coach Caldwell, you've talked to her, you've tried to figure out, okay, is she happy? And she said this sometimes. Even in victories, yeah, I don't know. There's some things. She'll always come up with something. There's some things. I'm not happy with this. We got to work on that. We got to address this. It's not all rainbows here. There's some things. So I asked her, Coach, you won the championship. You got the victory. Where are we at? Is there something that you're usually not happy about something? Is there something you're not happy about?
No. I thought we scrambled horrendously on defense. I think our defense was still really, really bad. Took some rush shots, way too many turnovers. I mean, there's a lot. I didn't really like the way we played. I'm trying to evolve as a coach. I'm letting them enjoy that. We'll talk about that tomorrow afternoon.
So I'm sure the meeting was, hey, great job. Hope you enjoyed coffee with champions. You got to do the little trophy thing. All right, now let's look at the film here. Can you believe what you did? I'm sure it's not that terse, but I'm sure there's a little wink and a nod. Okay, look at this turnovers. Look at the defense. Look at how you're playing here. Some sloppy passing. Coach, we won. Yeah, I know you won. You want to keep winning? Look at the film. End of the day, though, Coach comes in with a team that was not her own. The team she did not recruit. The core of this team, the majority of this team, she did not recruit to play for her. They did not come to play for Kim Caldwell. They came to play for a different coach, different regime. She comes in, they stick with her, and she takes them to a championship. Credits on her for being able to lead these women, and credits on these women for making this such a special moment. And they had the opportunity. The coach gave them what they needed for them to go out and create this moment. And Coach talked a little bit about why this team is special, especially with the moment they just created.
Absolutely. And hats off to the players that are here that did that, that created that moment and that put the hard work in and that were resilient and that believed in it and trusted in it, even though they weren't necessarily recruited into this or to play for me. They just found a way to get it done. And that's what makes this team so special. And they're going to remain special. There's never going to be a team quite like them. There's never going to be a team of 13 people that just got a new coach thrust upon them and put this different style of play and hard practices in that just embrace it and went for it and did it wonderfully. And so, again, tonight was special. I won't forget it, but more importantly, I hope that they get to enjoy it.
That's Kim Caldwell, the Thundering Herd, winning its first outright Sun Belt Conference regular season championship. They're back in action on Friday, hoping to finish off the regular season on a high note and then head into the Southern. See, it's been so long. It's been since the Southern Conference, heading into the Sun Belt tournament to try to win this thing and get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. We will get you set for Marshall men's basketball when we continue. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I got some fun texts coming in. More coming up here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
You know, there's something about a truck you can count on and that SUV that's been on every family vacation for a decade. TikTok Tire and Uniroyal know your truck or family car is only as reliable as the tires underneath it. And that's why Uniroyal made the Laredo AT Tire and HT Tire to be the tires you trust. You know, like you trust your truck, your SUV, or TikTok Tire. Uniroyal Laredo AT and Laredo HT. See where 130 years of value takes you. For more information, stop into TikTok Tire, 2102 3rd Avenue, Huntington, right across from the stadium, or call 304-525-7831.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I am Miss West Virginia USA, future doctor.
And I am Miss West Virginia America, future educator.
We are partnering with the West Virginia Department of Education as ambassadors for learning.
By supporting the department's Ready, Read, Write Literacy Initiative
and the Unite with Numeracy Mathematics Initiative, we will increase student learning.
We must do this together.
Because teachers can't do this alone.
For resources and more information, visit wvde.us.
Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck, located at 604 Bellefonte Road in Westwood, gives you a great shopping experience with unique items and delicious food all in one location. Stop by Plum Tickle Boutique and Rise and Grind Food Truck in Westwood.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to the Wednesday edition, The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's get that text line open. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. First texter says, Paul, as a senior citizen, you're just a pup. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of old. It's been a long time since Marshall won a championship in women's basketball. I was a pup then. I guess am I middle-aged puppy now? I mean, what am I in dog years? I don't know. Someone do the math. Back to the text line. Texter says, Paul, if Marshall wants to win tonight, they should send the women. Ouch. Ouch. They're good. I mean, they are good. I like the style of play. I think that's one thing that we can say. I like the style of play. And Marshall, when hitting shots, is good. Marshall, when hitting shots, can play with a lot of teams. Marshall just hasn't been able to hit shots as of late. But the women are definitely up there right now. Isn't it good, though? I mean, we'd love to see both basketball programs thriving, but I'm happy that Marshall women are thriving right now. They deserve it. They worked hard. They earned it. It's good to see that program get a lot of attention, and I hope that it continues. And at the same time, I hope the men find a way to get it back. For the longest time, Marshall was known for women's and men's basketball. The men were having more success in the tournament than the women, but the women were winning regular season championships in the 80s as well. I mean, that was a great thing about Marshall basketball. The men and the women were really good for a long time. And, of course, part of that was coaching. Part of that was the fact that Marshall just opened up a then brand new facility with the Cam Henderson Center. That helped. Can't open up a brand new basketball facility now. I don't think that necessarily works in basketball. Open up a brand new facility and you'll automatically win. There are a lot of great facilities in basketball. Now you open up a brand new baseball park. Yeah, I think you got something there. Back to the text line. Paul, we really enjoyed watching the Lady Herd win the regular season championship last night at the Cam. Now looking forward to Friday, and after that, on to the tournament. Go Herd. They're making fans, aren't they? They're making fans. I don't know if you're ever going to get it to the point where both teams are selling out, but I hope they do. And I hope a lot of people find the women to be an exciting brand of basketball that they want to go support. I know a lot of people don't go to the games because when the women are playing, sometimes the men are playing as well. So you're either at the men's game and the women are on the road, or the men are maybe playing and you can't watch the game if you're at the women's game. But I hope that on those days that there's not that shared schedule. Like yesterday, there was a Tuesday game. Weird, different day for the Thundering Herd. Good crowd. Men are playing tonight. Women will be back in action on Friday. I know the men will be playing on Friday as well. But you can always take your radio, listen to the men on the radio, and you can go watch the women. Text lines 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Speaking of the men, that's coming up tonight. Herd taking on Georgia Southern. Last time these two teams met, Marshall beat Georgia Southern 79-74. Odds on this one, believe it or not, favor Georgia Southern. Slight favorite, about 1.5. I'm not a Vegas odds type. I'm not a betting man when it comes to basketball odds. That seems like it's a pick'em. That feels like a pick'em right now when it comes to both teams. Not so sure which one's going to pull this one out tonight, but I guess they're getting maybe some of the points because they're at home. That could be a big part of it. Whatever the case may be, the Thundering Herd in action tonight. We've got it for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and on 93.7 The Dog. So I'm really looking forward to this one tonight between these two teams. And I don't want to get into that territory where, okay, Marshall should win this. Marshall should win this. We've had that conversation before. Marshall should win this. But Marshall's going into this on a losing streak. Not only a 5-game losing streak, but if you look at the road losing streak, it began the last time Marshall won on the road was on January 6th. That was at Texas State. And then Marshall lost at Old Dominion, lost at James Madison, and now lost Troy, App State, and Coastal. So the Herd has lost 5 on the road in a row. Marshall's lost 5 overall, but the road losing streak is 5 as well. So 2 things can be snapped tonight, that road losing streak and the losing streak overall. And Marshall desperately needs to find some offense tonight. The last 2 outings, the Herd scored identical points, 58. Marshall scored 58 at App State. Marshall scored 58 at home against App State. The offense just hasn't been producing as of late. The last time Marshall scored anything close to what we think is Marshall basketball was that 91-74 victory against Coastal Carolina. But after that, Marshall put up points of 66, 58, 67, 58, and 58. And then you go back a little bit when Marshall was having problems as well on the road. 66 is all they could manage against Old Dominion, and then 52 against James Madison on the road. The offense has been suffering as of late. And part of that is because we haven't seen a couple of players. Obina Anachili-Killen, he is not his usual self. The offense has suffered as of late. I mean, look at these numbers from the game against App State. And I know that's not going to necessarily carry over, but Marshall got 19 points out of Kevon Boyles and 19 out of Cam Kerfman. And Kerfman was 1 of 8 from the three-point line. And Marshall shot 24 of 73. That's not going to get it done, especially the 3 of 23. And this was a game in which App State had a poor shooting night, especially in the first. Marshall stayed in that game because App State shot 9 of 31. Now, they shot 48% in the second half and got more points, but Marshall killed itself at the three-point line, and Marshall just could not find the bucket. Free throw line didn't hurt Marshall as much as it could have, but 14 out of 20, a big difference. It could have been worse. They sent App State to the line too much in the second half, where Marshall just didn't get to the line as much. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you in just a few short moments. We'll be on 93.7 The Dog as well, as Marshall getting set to take on Georgia Southern. You can listen to it right here on this Kindred Communication Station.
Transmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.
Stay tuned for another exciting sports presentation from 93.7 The Dog, WDGG-FM Catlettsburg, and ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930, WRVC AM Huntington. It's game day. Kindred Communication, 93.7 The Dog, and ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 presents West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today. Presented by LiUNA, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org. Coming up, we'll get you ready for today's college basketball action with interviews, game breakdowns, scores, and more. Let's get you ready for tip-off. Here's Paul Swann.
The Thundering Herd trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, and to do so tonight, they're going to have to beat Georgia Southern, a team that Marshall has faced already once on the conference docket. Got a 79-74 win back on January 10th against this former Southern Conference foe. Welcome in to today's edition of West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today. I'm your host, Paul Swann. For the next half hour, we're going to be your first word on the herd as Marshall's getting set to take on Georgia Southern. Marshall coming into the contest 12-7 and has dropped to 7-9 in Sun Belt play. Now, Marshall at this moment still has a chance to stay out of the bottom 4, but to do so, Marshall's going to have to hope a couple of things happen. Teams below Marshall are going to have to just falter. That's going to be the one thing that will help. The other thing that's a little bit more of a sure deal is Marshall just needs to win a game. If Marshall can win one of the next two, Marshall's going to be fine. Marshall won't have to play on that first day. Georgia Southern and Georgia State are going to be teams that you look at and think Marshall should be able to win these games, but the losing streak is not just 5. There's also a road losing streak. Last time Marshall won on the road was back on January 6th against Texas State. And since then, Marshall has not had any success in league on the road. It started at Old Dominion and carried on at James Madison. And then Marshall came back, won 3 out of 4 at home, but then goes back on the road and loses the next 3. So we got a 5-game losing streak for the Herd, not only in consecutive games, but on the road as well. 5 games straight on the road. So Marshall's going to have to find the offense tonight if it wants to be victorious. And to do so, it's going to take on a Georgia Southern team that has previously beat. So the Thundering Herd tonight looking for that victory. The Southern Eagles are 6-23. They're 6-10 in the Sun Belt. So they have not had much success as of late as well. So can Marshall get it done tonight against Georgia Southern? We're going to find out. We'll hear from Dan D'Antoni in just a few minutes. We'll find out what he thinks of the opponent. Also, we're going to look back at last night's women's victory. The Marshall women clinching first ever in basketball, men's or women's, regular season championship in the Sun Belt. So the women get it done. Congratulations to Kim Caldwell and her squad. The Herd 22-6, 16-1 in Sun Belt play. They're back at it on Friday. We'll hear from Kim Caldwell as well. Find out her thoughts on the victory last night and looking ahead. What do you need to do if you're Coach Caldwell to keep that focus? But when we continue, we focus first on the Marshall men. This is West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today, presented by Lyona, your workforce solution, WVLDC.org.
Are you ready to be a part of something bigger? Join a West Virginia Laborers Local Union. We're on the lookout for dedicated individuals to join our skilled workforce. With comprehensive training and a strong support system, we'll help you build a fulfilling career. Step into a future with endless opportunities. Visit WVLDC.org and start your journey today. West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council and Lyuna, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Dude, was that you?
Yeah, it's what happens when I crave roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington. I can't help it. I just start thinking about more than 40 TVs, cold beer, hot wings. It just comes out.
That's weird.
Dude, was that you?
Yeah, I started thinking about Rooster's appetizers and salads and pizzas and burgers and how kids eat for 99 cents on Tuesdays.
Well, there's only one way to make it stop. Let's go to Roosters. Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington. A fun, casual joint.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
I can't wait to get to school. I brush my teeth and I comb my hair. I wave goodbye and I'm off to school. When I get there, I have breakfast with my friends. Then we have fun learning. I like my teacher too. She cares about me and makes me smile. You'll love school too.
Enroll your child in pre-K or kindergarten Friday, March 1st from 8:30 to 11:30 and 12:30 to 2:30 at all Cabell County Public Schools and approved community pre-K sites. Learn more at cabellschools.com.
You push your body hard in the name of fitness. Sure, it's for a good cause. But a good cause shouldn't mean sacrificing a good time. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We're getting you ready for tip-off. This is West Virginia and Appalachian Labor's District Council College Basketball Today. Presented by LiUNA, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org.
Marshall on the road tonight in a desperate way, needing a win, taking on Georgia Southern. Welcome back to this edition of West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today. The Thundering Herd needing that win to try to stay out of the bottom four of the league. Now, the good news is Marshall with one win will be fine. Or if one of the teams that Marshall could potentially tie with, if Marshall loses the next two, also loses, Marshall should be fine. The one team I'm worried about the most is Coastal Carolina. If Marshall and Coastal Carolina finish with identical records, I'm not sure what the tiebreaker procedure will be. So to be quite fair and honest, I would rather just see Marshall win tonight, and I don't have to worry about the tiebreaker procedure, and you don't either. But I think the Herd should be good. But there will be questions about what the tiebreaker procedure will be if Marshall gets to a point where it's tied with one of those teams at the very bottom at the end of the season. Thundering Herd tonight, needing the win, as I mentioned. They're taking on a team that actually was very competitive against the Herd last time. Marshall won the game at home on January 10th, 79-74. Dan D'Antoni, when asked about what's different, what does he see in this opponent, he talked about Georgia Southern in the matchup, including the guard play and, of course, three-point shooting from Georgia Southern.
Three-point shooting, their guards hurt us with the mismatches a little bit out front, but we've gotten better. Our bigs have gotten down a little bit. They're capable. As you saw Wyatt Fricks, I think it was one possession. They came off a little, the 12, I think it's 12 that shot it so well. He came off of there. White got right up into him, 6'9", chased him out, cut him off again, got up into him. They're all capable of doing it. And they just have to understand it's going to come down to that little mismatch. Are they going to get up into those guards and not give them room? Sometimes the bigs like to give them room when they want to play their length, but these guards are quick. You got to get up there and get them before they start. And they do have a big man who'll rip you at the elbow, and he's a different. You got to get up on him so that he doesn't get any momentum and knock you back.
Dan D'Antoni's thoughts on the opponent. One thing he is happy about, though, is Dan likes the defense. He also likes the focus of his team. We go back to the game against App State, although Marshall did lose the game. A lot better effort. Dan said earlier in the week that this team didn't quit, and he goes back to defense. Likes the defense, likes the focus of this team, likes where the team's at.
I like our defense. I liked our focus. Our kids have not quit whatsoever. They have not quit. And I appreciate our crowd. It was a final day. Our crowd was great. Felt a great atmosphere of basketball and a good game. A very, very competitive game against the number one team.
This Dan D'Antoni, last night, the Thundering Herd on the women's side, clinching the regular season championship in the Sun Belt with a victory over Georgia State. The Thundering Herd, with the victory, now becomes the first team to clinch a regular season championship since the Thundering Herd teams of the 80s. The 1988-89 team, it's the last time Marshall won a regular season crown. Of course, Marshall is also on the women's side locked up the number one seed at next week's tournament and looking for the team's first tournament title since the 1997 Southern Conference Championship. Also, another objective for the Thundering Herd, looking for the most wins in program history. The 1986-87 team, that was coached by Judy Southard, won a program best 23 games in the regular season before winning a game in the Southern Conference Tournament for an overall program best 24 wins in a season. Thundering Herd can tie that mark by winning on Friday and then winning a game in the tournament. So there is still an opportunity for Marshall to exceed that win total. Marshall, of course, will be looking to win a tournament championship if Marshall can get past that win total before the tournament is over. Coach Kim Caldwell last night, exciting night for the program. She thought it was a fun day of basketball for the women.
Fun day, really fun day. I was really, really happy they got to enjoy that moment. Thanks to everyone who pulled it off. A lot of the times when you win the regular season, you don't get that moment. And I'm really, really happy that they got to have that moment. They got to cut down a net. They got confetti. They've been asking for confetti for a long time. So they got to celebrate it. They got the championship feel, which is rare, and they've earned it. They deserved it. I'm proud of them. I hope they remember this day for as long as they live, and I think they will. And they put a lot of hard work in to get here.
Coach Caldwell also talked about last night just the fact that this is a special team. They created a moment for themselves last night, and she talked about how and why they created that moment, how special it is for them, and how this team will always be a special one for her.
Absolutely, and hats off to the players that are here that did that, that created that moment, and that put the hard work in, and that were resilient, and that believed in it and trusted in it, even though they weren't necessarily recruited into this or to play for me. They just found a way to get it done, and that's what makes this team so special, and they're going to remain special. There's never going to be a team quite like them. There's never going to be a team of 13 people that just got a new coach thrust upon them and put this different style of play and hard practices in, that just embrace it and went for it and did it wonderfully. And so, again, tonight was special. I won't forget it, but more importantly, I hope that they get to enjoy it.
That's Kim Caldwell, her squad back in action on Friday, taking on Georgia Southern. It's senior day, and it's the regular season finale for the Thundering Herd. The men in action tonight, looking to at least secure a spot outside of the bottom four. To do so, a win against Georgia Southern tonight is needed. We'll break this one down further. Also, take a look at the Sun Belt Conference standings. We'll run down all the action in league play. All of that coming up on this edition of West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today.
Giovanni's 20th Street is the place to be before, during, and after the game. 14 great beers on tap, plus classic Giovanni's pizzas, pastas, calzones, sandwiches, and wings. Never miss a minute of the action with 10 TVs now at Giovanni's 20th Street. And Giovanni's 20th Street has never looked or tasted better. Under new ownership and management. Dine in, get it to go, or have it delivered. Order online at Giovanni'sPizzaPower.com. 20th Street Giovanni's, right on Marshall's campus, across from Edwards Stadium.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Lavalette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555. And in Charleston, Lisa Godwin, 304-984-0000.
Tell me something, what's worse than your heating going down in the middle of winter? I'll tell you, your heating going down than being told it can't be fixed. Well, stop getting sold and start getting serviced with General Heating and Air Conditioning. You're certified experts in York heating and cooling equipment, keeping you and your family comfortable while saving you money. It's been our tradition since 1968. Call us today for your York heating needs, 606-836-8143.
General Heating and Air, Tri-State tradition.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Our new breakfast burrito is a fully loaded breakfast. I don't even know if I have enough time to tell you everything that's inside. 2 fresh cracked eggs, seasoned breakfast potatoes, 6 strips of bacon, cheese sauce, wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. Yes! Now, come and get it. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new breakfast burrito.
Only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
We're getting you ready for tip-off. This is West Virginia and Appalachian Labor's District Council College Basketball Today. Presented by LIUNA, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org.
We're getting you set for tonight's contest between the Thundering Herd and the Southern Eagles, Georgia Southern Eagles. Marshall coming into this contest, desperate need of a win. Georgia Southern in a situation where they need to win as well. 6-23 overall, but surprisingly enough, they're 6-10 in league play. So they've been able to manage a few wins, had a good chance to win against James Madison. They led at 15 at halftime. They led by 15 points, and they did lead for most of the game, but Georgia Southern faltered. James Madison scored 50 second-half points in that last contest and won the game against the Eagles 80-74. So the Thundering Herd has an opportunity tonight. They're taking on a team that can compete, but at the same time, if they fade tonight and Marshall can get the offense going, we might see a Thundering Herd win. Marshall, however, needs to start with the three-point shot. The struggles continue from the three-point line. Marshall has not been efficient as of late. They have not found the way to get that shot back, and the Thundering Herd offense, of course, looking for the three more times than not. The Herd shot 3 of 23 from the three-point line. That was good enough for 13%. Not a good showing from the three-point line. Georgia Southern been decent at home, not great, not terrible, 4-6 at home, and they do struggle with teams over 500, so they've had some difficulties of their own. Marshall averaging 73.6 a contest and shooting from the field now 40.6%. That is 9th in the Sun Belt. Not going to get it done. Georgia Southern shoots 42.5% from the field. That is a little bit less than what Marshall actually gives up. Marshall gives up 44.1% from the field. The Herd also, at this moment, even though the three-point offense has kind of slowed down, Marshall, if can get hot, going up against a Georgia Southern team that does allow almost 8 three-pointers a game. So this is an opportunity for Marshall to get healthy real quick. Last 10 games, Marshall 3-7, averaging 68.6 points per game in that span while giving up over 73 points. Georgia Southern in the last 10, 2-8, averaging 75.6 points a contest, but giving up 80 points or more on average. The Thundering Herd has an opportunity tonight to get the offense firing on all cylinders against a Georgia Southern team that, while a very small favorite in this one, the odds makers are saying Georgia Southern a 1.5 favorite. Feels like a pick'em to me. The Thundering Herd, I feel, has the edge in this one, and Marshall has won 2 out of the last 3 meetings against Georgia Southern, including the most recent one. So the Thundering Herd has an opportunity tonight to win this one against Georgia Southern and try to springboard into the Sun Belt tournament, possibly with a 2-game win streak. Not much, but we'll take it. We'll talk more about what's happening in the league when we continue on this edition of West Virginia and Appalachian Labor's District Council College Basketball Today.
Are you in need of skilled, reliable laborers in the heart of Appalachia? Turn to the West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council. We excel in providing top-notch labor solutions for projects of any size with a dedicated and highly trained workforce. We're the team you can trust. Visit WVLDC.org today and discover how we can elevate your project to new heights. West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council and LIUNA, your workforce solution. Visit WVLDC.org.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Dude, was that you?
Yeah, it's what happens when I crave roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington. I can't help it. I just start thinking about more than 40 TVs, cold beer, hot wings. It just comes out.
That's weird.
Dude, was that you?
Yeah, I started thinking about Rooster's appetizers and salads and pizzas and burgers and how kids eat for 99 cents on Tuesdays.
Well, there's only one way to make it stop. Let's go to Roosters. Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington. A fun, casual joint.
You know, there's something about a truck you can count on and that SUV that's been on every family vacation for a decade. TikTok Tire and Uniroyal know your truck or family car is only as reliable as the tires underneath it. And that's why Uniroyal made the Laredo AT Tire and HT Tire to be the tires you trust. You know, like you trust your truck, your SUV, or TikTok Tire. Uniroyal Laredo AT and Laredo HT. See where 130 years of value takes you. For more information, stop into TikTok Tire, 2102 3rd Avenue, Huntington, right across from the stadium, or call 304-525-7831.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We're getting you ready for tip-off. This is West Virginia and Appalachian Labor's District Council College Basketball Today. Presented by Liuna, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org.
Taking a look at action tonight in the Sun Belt, we start with last night as Texas State beat Louisiana Monroe 73-55. Texas State trying to work its way out of the bottom four. I'm not sure if they have enough to do it because a lot of tiebreakers and a lot of things are going to happen. It's a complete jumbled mess right now. The one thing that is certain, if Marshall can win tonight, Marshall's pretty much going to be out of the conversation there. Let's talk about the games that are happening tonight. Old Dominion taking on App State tonight. App State probably will win this one. Old Dominion has had a rough go of it this season. James Madison and Georgia State going on tonight. Now, this one's an important game, and I'll get to the standing in a second, but Marshall and Georgia State are tied right now, so that's an important game. If James Madison can beat Georgia State and Marshall can win, that's going to help the Thundering Herds cause. Coastal Carolina and Arkansas State. Arkansas State's a team that's worked itself into one of those byes in the tournament. Coastal Carolina trying to stay out of the bottom. A loss tonight would pretty much clinch their bottom residency. Southern Miss takes on South Alabama tonight. That's also an important matchup in the standings. And finally tonight it'll be Troy and Louisiana. That game coming up tonight, 8 o'clock. Now the standings look like this. App State, James Madison, and Troy. Those are your top three teams, 1, 2, and 3. Arkansas State just needs to continue to win. They'll be locked at number 4. Louisiana Southern Miss, 9-7, game behind Arkansas State. And then there's Marshall and Georgia State. Both teams are 7-9. Now, if they have identical conference records, that'll be an important matchup come Friday. And then South Alabama and Georgia Southern, 6-10. Texas State, 6-11. They win one more game and Marshall drops 2. Both those teams will be 7-11. ULM 6-11 right now. Coastal Carolina has 2 games to go. They could finish 7-11, and Old Dominion's just locked at 3-13. So there's a slim chance that Marshall could fall to one of those bottom spots. There's a slim chance. Strange things are going to happen. But if Marshall wins tonight, Marshall more than likely won't have to worry about any of that, and then the Herd will just be playing for seeding. But Georgia State taking on James Madison tonight, if Marshall can win, Marshall will move above Georgia State, and that would put Marshall at the 7 spot. And then if Marshall can beat Georgia State again, that's going to keep them ahead of Georgia State. And of course, you need to hope that a couple other teams lose tonight, like South Alabama. But South Alabama's taking on Southern Miss, so it's more than likely that there's going to be some wins and losses that we just didn't expect these last couple of days of league play. Whatever the case may be, the good news is Marshall's going to be in the tournament. The only thing here is you're trying to stay out of that first day. The second day, seed 8 takes on seed 9, and that's at 12:30. Seed 5 takes on the winner of game 1. Seed 6 takes on the winner of game 2, and then seed 7 and seed 10 play at 8:30 p.m. that night. Marshall would have to play in one of those games, 8-9 or 7-10. You're hoping for 8-9. That's going to do it for this edition of West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball Today, presented by Lyona, your workforce solution, WVLDC.org. We'll be back with you after the game coming up. It's Steve Cotton. He'll take you the rest of the way here on 93.7 The Dog.